So I've recorded this little video about 3 things Donald Trump does that you shouldn't do as a leader, and I've got these silly lines, silly lines from my blind and the sunshine. But I quite like what I said and how I said it, so I'm just going to leave it. Trying to get out of them now, so I'm just going to leave it. I hope that's okay. Enjoy the video. Whatever you think of him, Donald Trump is providing lessons in leadership, and last week I talked about 3 things that he does that are kind of a good idea for those of us that are leading small teams in offices, 5 to 15 people, working through getting stuff done. There's some stuff Donald Trump does that is kind of useful for us, and I talked about that last week, but there's also some what not to do's in there. And again, I'm not talking about the politics or what he's doing. I'm thinking about his leadership behaviours and how he's doing things. And I've got 3 things to talk about today that are things that Trump does kind of routinely that we really got to avoid when we're leading our teams. If you're new here, hi, I'm Ben. I've been leading teams and mentoring new leaders for about 15 years now, and I love sharing the best things I've learned here and at benkosh.com. There's some free resources there. If you're new in a leadership role or even experienced in a leadership role and want some help elevating your leadership, go and check out those resources there. But the 3 things I want to talk about today, the Donald Trump stuff that I've seen in leaders at all levels, and it's never a good idea. The first of them is belittling people who think differently to you. Did you see Donald Trump calling Zelensky a dictator last week, claiming he has 4% approval rating? This happened after Zelensky said that Donald Trump was living in a Russian disinformation space. And Trump's instinctive reaction to criticism, or even just someone expressing a different point of view, is to lash out publicly. You can very quickly get a nasty nickname and a mean Truth Social tweet put up against you, or in public press conferences or meetings, Donald Trump will say, "I don't like that guy, you're a nasty person," and so on and so on. If you do that in your team at work, and I've seen leaders do this, a couple of things happen. You're going to silence voices that you really need to hear. People are going to lose trust and respect for you. And telling people they're stupid when they voice different opinions is just no way to get people on side and help progress your agenda. And frankly, it's just kind of ugly and mean. You really don't want to be doing it. Thing number 2, refusing to acknowledge a mistake. Complete disaster. I was talking with a mentoring client last week, and they described a colleague who would bat away anything that sounded remotely like criticism of them and their team. And every challenge would be met with something like, "We are doing everything we possibly can. We haven't made any mistakes. The reason this isn't working is some other thing that's over here and not my responsibility." Which to me sounds a little bit like, "There's no way we lost, somebody else must have cheated," right? And it's a big problem for a couple of reasons. First, it cuts off an angle of conversation. The problem really could be in that person's department, but because they throw up a big wall anytime anything is mentioned, you never get to even talk about it, let alone diagnose and fix the problem. The second thing is, it actually weakens your position as a leader, because lots of people around you see that you're being defensive. They can tell that you're just batting it away and really not dealing with the issues, and your trust and respect goes down again. So try not to be doing that. The third thing that Donald Trump has done consistently is narrow the discussion to his viewpoint. Leadership done right involves gathering a big range of opinions and different voices and sitting them down at the table and talking about things. All of the research on this stuff shows that you get better business outcomes if you draw on the most diverse set of opinions when you are figuring out what to do and how to play forward. And Donald Trump seems to have this tendency of sacking people who disagree with him and putting in place replacements that are squarely on the Donald Trump line. And it's a recipe for bad decisions, and decisions that are just rooted in one ideological position. So, whatever you think about Donald Trump, don't copy those 3 leadership tactics. These are a really bad idea for you. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Thank you for watching. Please give it a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it if you do that. Help with my YouTube KPIs. We're all in leadership, so we've got KPIs to worry about. And there's some more good leadership stuff over here. Go and watch that next.